Good morning. Did I just get up way too early because of daylight savings time? Why, yes, I did. But it's okay. I have a facial called Everything But the Kitchen Sink today. And this morning I'm going to finally get all caught up on the kouri richins trial, at least for this week, and talk about days 8 and 9. Thankfully, all the information I can kind of squish into both days into one video, even though they were both 9-hour court days. Oh, my peaches. So what happened on day 8 was that we got a lot of lawyers, a lot of Eric's lawyers and one of Kouri's lawyers, the divorce lawyers and the estate lawyer. And the divorce lawyer had said that it was both lawyers mentioned how weird Eric Richins' situation seemed to be from what he told them. And when they were asked, well, why was it weird? They were like, normally when people are getting divorced, they just want out of this marriage. They want to be able to move out, leave this person. They can't stand another fight with this person. They don't even want to look at him anymore. They're very concerned with the right here, right now, and getting out. Eric was more concerned, and that is why the divorce lawyer had recommended the estate lawyer instead, was because what Eric wanted was protection for the future of his kids in case he wasn't here. He was really concerned with his after death, his children being cared for and financially supported. And that was weird to both of the lawyers because that just doesn't happen. Again, people who are getting divorced are very present-minded. They're not thinking about the end of their life and after they're gone like Eric was. And the estate lawyer had mentioned that, yeah, she got a call from the sheriff's office and had to explain that. And she said based on Kouri's reaction over the phone, she was shocked, sounded astounded. And, that's not the reaction at that moment of somebody who knew about a trust, to me, in FCA's opinion. But the big thing from day 8 was the paramour. Yes, the boyfriend, the lover, the guy who she was having an affair with, she being Kouri, her boyfriend took the stand. And he started off kind of rocky because he was getting sworn in. Can you tell the swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under perjury of penalty? And this man goes, what's the whole truth? What do you mean by the whole truth? Had to have a whole interview with the judge where after that he had said, I'm not going to lie, I just don't know what that means. And based on the number of times that this man did, like, he needed, what does that word mean? I don't know that word. I don't understand what you're asking. And he seemed actually befuddled. This was a lost soul on the stand. And it was a very heartbreaking testimony to watch. They ended the day with him. And it was because he genuinely seemed hurt and conflicted to have to be testifying against Kouri. Because based on everything he said, he fell in love with her. He was head over heels for Kouri, and he was willing to be he knew he was the side boyfriend, and he wanted to be with her, but he was so in love with her that he was willing to be her usually free handyman, and she had put him up in one of her rental houses to live, or one of her properties rent free to live. And she had also bought him a truck, and when that truck started to go down, they turned it in and she got him another truck. And he had moved states to be with her and had known her for a very long time. And when they were going over text messages that between the two of them, because when the phones were recovered from him, they were broken, like in pieces. But they were able to repair them enough to be able to get the data and information off of them. Why were they broken? It wasn't brought up. It was just that they were broken. And he was putting his head down, had a cry. He was hurt. Kouri had hurt him. This whole situation hurt him. And Kouri couldn't look less bothered. As we move into day 9 was the big entry-level people that were on here. We had somebody who Kouri used to work with at the husband at Eric's stonemasonry. They were doing some charity work one day, and the woman on the stand had said that she had gotten a divorce, and when Kouri and her were wrapping presents for this holiday charity thing they were doing, Kouri was saying stuff like how rough their marriage was. Same story that we've heard before, that Kouri was saying that she was miserable in the marriage, but the prenup made it hard for her to get out. Now, the prenup, to remind you, never said they couldn't get a divorce. It was just that they would leave with their own premarital assets, and the alimony would be minimal. That is what the prenuptial agreement said. She could have gotten a divorce like any other person gets a divorce. The prenup doesn't stop divorce. It just stops asset sharing, basically. And so she was like, the prenup makes it hard for me to get out, and that things were just going wrong, and she was afraid that if she got a divorce, that the boys, their kids, would want to stay with Eric more because he had more money. So more money means more opportunities. Like, they get to stay in the bigger house. They get to go to the ranch and have four-wheelers and ride horses and have more vacations, etc. The striking part of this witness's testimony was that Kouri had said something to the effect of, he'd be better off dead. And the look on Kouri's face, I'll put a screenshot picture up. She was appalled and shocked. Like, how dare you say that in this situation? Are you kidding me? And the next big witness who came up was Kouri Richins' best friend. We had heard about the best friend, Chelsea Barney, from the day before on day 7, because she had bought a house in the friend's name, or it was supposed to be in the friend's name, and the friend had paid $45,000. And what we learned from the best friend was that $45,000 was mostly paid in tips. She was a manager at a bar and grill, and she worked for a lot of tips at the time. And she had been saving and saving, and her husband put down this $45,000 for a house. And in addition to that, they continued to pay almost $3,000, $2,900 a month that they were paying towards the mortgage. Like, it was a rent to own kind of situation, or that's how Kouri portrayed it to Chelsea. And there are text messages between them that are shown through Chelsea from her phone, because everything was deleted off of Kouri's phones. And there was a very long phone call between Kouri was on speakerphone with the presence of Chelsea, and they were talking to Eric's best friend, Bryce. And Eric's family is sitting in the gallery watching this, of course, and hearing his best friend, it was very uncomfortable all around. I will link to the time where you can hear the phone calls, but I gotta tell you, they're grating, and they were hard for me to get through, because Kouri is giving like whiny teenager in them. And she's like, they want my house, Bryce. They want my house. Like, it's my effing house. She says it just like that. And Chelsea gets on the phone to talk to Bryce while Kouri cries, I guess. And she's like, hey, Bryce, it's Chelsea. Listen, yeah, his sisters, the sisters changed, like Eric changed all the stuff, and she doesn't have a right to anything, and she's going to sue them because like they took everything from her. And she was like, that's so messed up. And there are text messages between the two of them where it's like, yeah, they're so effed up. I can't believe they would do this. They're whole messed up. And Chelsea was like, you should go no contact because they're so toxic. And also, the sister we have not seen. We've seen Katie come to the stand, the one who is the trustee, the person who is in charge of the trust until the boys are adults. And the other sister, Amy, allegedly had taken video because the Saturday after Eric Richins passed away, his best friend Bryce, Chelsea, and Kouri had a little party, and all of them got super drunk, and Corey's whine crying again. She took a video, and like, I'm a good effing mom, Bryce, but she tried to make it seem like I'm an incompetent mom, and she was like, she was so drunk and blah blah blah. I had to take care of the boys because Kouri couldn't. She was making me seem like I'm a bad mom, and it was like I was celebrating Eric's life, like, because I'm not allowed to go to the celebration of life. And since I'm not allowed to be there, I was having my own. And she took a video of everything. Like, even you with your pants off. Bryce, why are your pants off? Bryce, why are your pants off? So most of this is just listening to it was like 45, 50 minutes of phone calls. And it was a phone call that was broken up into two parts. And Chelsea looked hurt because she had been betrayed by her best friend when she got evicted. Her husband, and her 4 kids got evicted because, again, they were paying $29,000 a month, $2,900 a month, thinking they were putting it to a rent-to-own mortgage situation. And she said, no, I have the papers in my name when they were getting evicted. And she had a copy of the paper, but guess what? It was never filed or notarized with the bank because Kouri never turned it in. In fact, Kouri used her best friend's house as collateral to try to get another loan. And that's what we learned on day 7 with the financial person. And so overall, the friend, like, just based on what she said, that they paid about $80,000 that they can't get back because Kouri doesn't have that money to give back to them in retribution. She broke. She negative $1.6 million in the hole. She doesn't have $80,000 to get that she took from her best friend to give back. And so that's, again, money they don't have to put on another home. They just don't have it. And even though this wasn't brought up in court, that's not to mention if they were doing any repairs to the home. Because remember, these are houses that Kouri is intending to flip and sell. So some of them might be in more fixer-upper condition. So if they had did any plumbing, electrical work, if they have painted any rooms, any furniture, stuff that they bought, they could probably take the stuff out, but where are they going to put it? Because Kouri lied to her. The defense chose not to cross this witness. That was a smart move, in my opinion. And we ended on a retreat. There was a couples retreat that Kouri and Eric had went on. And the person who was there had said, oh yeah, Kouri wrote this thing where she had talked about a future without Eric. And that she said, well, we were joking about, that Kouri tried to poison him, kill him, whatever. And she goes, we were laughing with him, though. I didn't take it seriously. But yeah, that is the main thing was the best friend, and then the other thing were the estate lawyers and the boyfriend coming to testify. And we'll see where today takes us. All right, I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.